Hey Virgo, Ashley here. We're going to be doing your mid-August 2021 reading. So this will be for the whole week of August 15th. We're going to do past, present, and future. And kind of get an idea of where you've been and where you're headed. And then we're going to do a 9-card spread and clarify to get some more detail. I do recommend you check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus placements to see the full picture of what's going on for you. Let's go ahead and get started. Virgo, week of August 15th. All right, I'm just gonna scoot these up a little. I have messed with my camera placement and some lighting, and we will see how these end up looking. Definitely give me some feedback if you would like. And I'll go through what we have here. Okay. We have the 10 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. We'll see how that comes into play. All right, so in the past we have the Elephant Spirit. It says, learn from the past. So one of the things that we know most about elephants is that they have intense memory. It's just interesting. I was noticing that there are wings above his ears. So really kind of taking a higher perspective. We have the Empress, the 5 of Swords, and the 2 of Cups. So this very well could be a situation where there's been some drama or an ending to a love relationship, or just something that you love and have dedicated some time to. So we will, but it does look like with this 5 of Swords here, it almost is feeling like a win at all costs kind of energy. Let me see if I can get that to focus. There we go. And we do have some challenging cards on the board here. So let's get some more detail here, but it does feel like perhaps there was something new that was trying to come into play with the Empress. It could have been a new love relationship, or just trying to like almost revive an old relationship. This could also be the Divine Feminine in the love relationship. Let's see what we got here. Where do we have the Empress? We have the Queen of Swords and the 9 of Cups. And for the 5 of Swords, we have the 8 of Cups and the Ten of Cups. And for the Two of Cups, we have the Hanged Man and the King of Wands. All right, so it's interesting, this Queen of Swords with the Nine of Cups and the Empress. It does feel like there was perhaps some sort of new venture that you wanted to bring to life, right? So I'm getting a couple things and I'll go through them, but this first one, I feel like there was some sort of venture that you were attempting to bring to life. You clearly communicated this. It was something that you felt like was one of your dreams in this life, right? And I feel like I had something similar for, this may have been one of the fire signs. Now we do have the King of Wands coming through. I'll try and remember and link that video down below. But the scenario that I'm seeing here is that perhaps you wanted to go off onto this new venture. It could have been a new job, or perhaps, you know, a side hustle, something like that. And it was very important to you. But somehow it led to a lot of conflict in a relationship. And it does look like someone here decided to walk away from a family commitment, like a whole family. So this could have been like a divorce or a separation of some kind, some sort of conflict in a partnership. And it does feel like what you're seeing now with that Hanged Man, he is got that yellow around his head because he's seeing something from a new perspective. So he's enlightened about something. So it could have changed your perspective when it comes to a King of Wands energy. Now, they may not be a fire sign. It could very well be that they just embody or have strong placements in fire, or we're just embodying a fire type energy. That's really what I'm getting strongest here, was just like this dead on clarity that this was something that you wanted to do, and you've learned something here when it comes to relationship dynamics. And perhaps it almost feels like this Five of Swords energy, that perhaps this was like kind of a battle of the wits. It almost feels like, yes, there was this passion about wanting to do something that you have on your bucket list, right? A dream that you've always had that you wanted to pursue. And it almost feels like with this Five of Swords here, that it was like, come hell or high water, you were going to go do this, right? It doesn't feel like a lot of compromise. Now that might not be your scenario. Perhaps that was their energy and they were not willing to compromise at all. Like almost no flexibility when it came to you wanting to do this. And so you had no choice but to walk away, to walk towards something you felt passionate about. Now in the current position, we have the card Poised, only it is in the reverse. So this is like the Fool energy. It's like kicking off a new beginning. But in the reverse, you've been put in some kind of waiting mode. Now we do have the Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords on either side of this Nine of Wands. And it's like you have this perseverance that you're going to make this happen. But I think what's coming through right now is there's almost like this pause that is coming through from the universe. It's almost like nothing is going your way. And it's almost like you're trying it at all these different angles and nothing's working to kind of get you going and off the ground. And it's causing a lot of stress here. Let's see. Let's get some more detail on that. All right, why do we have the 8 of Swords? We have the 3 of Pentacles. And the Devil. So you could very well be stuck in some sort of toxic work scenario. Or perhaps just bound to this person from the past. And they're not willing to collaborate with you on this. Let's see. 9 of Wands. We have Justice. Could be dealing with a Libra. And we have the 10 of Swords. So it almost feels like a delay in a divorce process, divorce proceedings. Like they're not allowing this to happen. So it's put you in this stuck position. You know what's funny is I'm noticing that this Poise card in the reverse, I talked about how it was similar to the Fool card, but upside down, you can kind of see that there's this star sitting above her head. And that's reminding me of this Hanged Man, with that enlightened yellow around his head. So it's almost like the Hanged Man position where you're just stuck and bound, tied up with nowhere to go. So it does feel like maybe you're perhaps stuck in a situation. Let's see, 9 of Swords. Okay, yep, the Hierophant. So very well could be a marriage. And the Star. So as you're kind of sitting in this stuck situation with this person, it does feel like there's a couple of things going through your head right now. First off, I think you're worried that your dreams are taking off without you while you're just stuck in this marriage. And they're not allowing you to end this marriage. Or they're prolonging the proceedings, the paperwork, you know, that kind of thing. Another thing that I'm getting here is that, you know, it could be that you've had this realization, this thing that you've learned in the past about this relationship. Now, it could be a positive or a negative thing that you've discovered, right? But I do feel like there's almost some worry here as we go in this direction of whether or not it's possible to heal this particular commitment. Now, it doesn't have to be a marriage. I do feel that way with the Hierophant and Justice together. If not, I do feel like it's just a long-term commitment, and there could be some legal issues involved, like perhaps, you know, the splitting up of, you know, your belongings, or, you know, like house, cars, that kind of thing. But it does look like you're kind of in this stuck position. And I know that this particular Poise card in the reverse advises that you just wait it out. And granted, that could be obviously very frustrating, but it does look like there's still some conflict, some ego battles taking place. So let's look In the future position, we have the boundaries card. It says, set them daily. And there is a key here along this path. And it's almost like for someone to pass through, they have to hold the key. And so it could very well be that in the future, you're having to set boundaries with whomever this person is that you have been having issues with. It also feels like perhaps there's some third party interaction here, and I do not mean cheating. I mean like too many people in their ear, in your ear, telling their opinions about this whole situation. And I think what you're being asked to do is to set boundaries with those individuals, because we do have the Seven of Swords here as well, and there could be some almost purposeful interference happening here. Now this could be your person, because from this angle we have the Two of Cups, the Nine of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. Really what I'm kind of getting here is that it's almost like they keep you stuck for a while and then they're the ones that take off, right? Like they've held you waiting for so long just for the sake of watching you squirm. That doesn't sound very nice, but let's get some more details here. But it does feel like perhaps there's a little too many hands in the cookie jar kind of feeling here. Like lots of friends, family, co-workers, or whatever. They're attempting, I think, to offer some support, but I think what it ends up being is like too much information. Let's see. Why do we have the Seven of Swords and the Page of Pentacles? And the Judgment. With the World, we have the Four of Pentacles. And the Ace of Swords. And with the Three of Cups, we're getting the Two of Cups again in the same row, and the Magician. Okay, a couple of things here. Take it as it resonates. It does feel like for some of you, this person in the past, and I just saw the Six of Cups, and we have the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. It does feel like this person in the past that you've been kind of struggling with, it does appear that for some of you, this person wants to heal and reunite after this breakdown that took place in the relationship. Like perhaps part of why they've been resisting this closure here, because see, look, we have the World, which is, you know, signifies endings, the end of a major cycle. But with this Four of Pentacles, someone's holding on to it, like they don't want it to end. And we have an Ace of Swords here, like they want a victory. And with the Three of Cups, a reunion, right? And we also have the Page of Pentacles with the Judgment card. So this could be someone trying to revive something from the past after not being totally above board, right? They've been difficult to deal with. They could have just been trying to serve themselves by keeping you stuck. that kind of thing. For others, it's almost like Hierophant, Justice, Judgment, right? You finally get almost like a final offer on this settlement for, this divorce, if that's your story, and you're able to walk away. It ends, and it does appear, if that's your scenario, that you are able to end this relationship with your financial security still intact. Not that you keep everything, but more like the deal that you've been offered is enough to, it's like a sacrifice. There's some sacrifice involved, but I don't think it leaves you like totally broke, if that makes sense. And so that could be for some of you. And that, it could very well be that we have, as a result of that, almost like the ability to form a new union with someone else. Now that's not going to be for everyone. It could very well be someone from your friend group. Now, as I was saying before with this Three of Cups, I do feel like there's people in the friend zone that are probably trying to manipulate how this pans out for you. With that Magician energy in the same row as that Seven of Swords, and that our Oracle card is about setting boundaries. I think that part of what's happening with whoever's trying to almost like feed your ear with their opinions, it's because it would benefit them if it didn't work out for you. So pay attention to that. I do think boundaries are going to be important, but kind of what I'm getting to is with this key that I noticed on the bottom right here for the boundaries card, the Hierophant, you're probably not gonna be able to see this. There's two keys down here. So it's almost like the only person that should have the keys to this boundary are the husband and wife, or husband and husband, wife and wife, take it as it resonates. But the couple that is in the commitment, right? And cut out anyone else's opinions. So, sounds like perhaps some stuck energy for a period of time. I do feel like it is coming to an end. And it does look like some of you have the option to either take a particular settlement offer, even if it results in somewhat of a sacrifice. And some of you have the option to heal and reunite with this person. So that will be obviously up to you and how that resonates for your particular scenario. But keep the boundaries in mind here in the next couple of weeks. So I hope that was helpful, Virgo. Be sure to check out next week's full moon video that'll be coming out. And I will see if I can find the video I was discussing earlier about someone walking away from a scenario because someone wanted to start like a new job. I feel like that might be helpful for you because it's almost like the same story. So I'll see if I can find that. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.